Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. It's such a blessing and an honor to be here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I also know that my mother is listening, so I'm dedicating this talk to her. Love you, Mom. And I want us to take an extra minute also because she is in the hospital. And I know we all have someone or have had health issues as well. So as mothers do, we nurture and take care and hug and serve everyone else. Let's have an extra prayer of healing for all of our loved ones. So just breathe and close your eyes one more second, because we know in unity prayer is how we also connect with God and manifest. We thank you, God, for the healing that is occurring and for the mother and the divine feminine in us that magnifies your power through us, with us, together. Amen. Okay, let's get this party started. I am so honored to be here for Mother's Day, and I call my talk Mother's Manifestation, Mother's Miracles and Manifestations. So I wanted to start with this little diddle, because when I started on this talk, I thought it was Mother's Miracles and Manifestations. I thought it was three things. But the chat bot or the autocorrect decided that it was Mother's apostrophe S Miracles and Manifestations, where we ended. And so I threw it away like, they mess you up as much as they can help. Sometimes they mess you up. So I threw it away, but as I started coming to this, or writing, as it started coming through me, that's the message. Like the chat bot got it right. So and when you play around, it could have been 4 versions of it. One punctuation, one thing. And I felt like the whole lesson is like right here. It almost happened right here. Like what's in one is in the all. What's in the all is in the one, right? And so the Mother's Miracles and Manifestations, one mother, the miracles and manifestations, the Mother Earth, the mother within. And so it took me to the divine feminine. So that's how amazing creation is, that everything is in the one thing. Even in the title, I couldn't even go any place further. I was like, I'm done. You guys get to go early. So that's what we're talking about today. Mothers, miracles and manifestations, the mothers, all mothers, miracles and manifestations, and how they come to be. So I want to talk about the divine feminine, because that's how it all comes together. That's where it all starts. So what's the cosmology? We all have a mother, every single one of us. That's one thing we all have in common. You can't get around it. I mean, there are some immaculate conception things that have happened. Some famous stories, and there's many that we don't know about. There's species on these planets that self-procreate. So we know that creation happens. It happens in different ways, but within us, it comes through this divine feminine, which is the mother. So this Mother's Day, I want to broaden the definition and what we're praising, what we're acknowledging and recognizing, that the mother is through us, the feminine, the gender, but not necessarily gender. Everybody has the divine feminine in them. Everything has the divine feminine in it. So I want to go through the cosmology a little bit. There's a creation story. There's infinite creation stories as we know it, but here's mine. Here's the one how I interpret and grasp onto it. God is all, everything. And in the beginning, I'll use some old wording. In the beginning, God wanted to know himself. Because if everything is blue, you don't know anything other than blue. So God's the infinite all is, and wanted to know himself. So through himself being the masculine, he created the the feminine, the divine feminine. And together is how all of this exists. None of this happens without the divine feminine. This is how we express this vast ocean of consciousness, is how we experience life, is through the feminine aspect, not the masculine. But they go together in harmony. You don't have one now without the other. So this divine feminine aspect is what we're going to continue to just talk about today, because that is how manifestation happens. That's where the miracles are. That's how we see each other. And so how do we know it? How do we know this to be true? How do we tap into it? And how do we use it in our daily lives to bring the light, to be the light through the divine feminine that is within us? How does this all happen? And so I want to step back and say, sort of it's like the Adam given his rib, and then woman is born. God brings forth the divine feminine to have experience. So in God, the eternal, if God wants experiences, you can imagine that it's going to be an infinite amount of it, which is where we are. Infinite potential, infinite potentiality comes through this experience. And I want us to always stay in the oneness of consciousness. That's the whole point. So if we come back to that, experience is the divine feminine. That's what we have now. We have past experiences. We have the present experience. We have ideas of future experiences. But where do all of those experiences happen? Now. Only in the present moment. So in all of this infinite wisdom of the divine masculine and feminine, the only way we experience anything is now. This is the holy instant. This is the divine moment. And this is all created by the divine feminine. Now you may have heard of her spoken up in different terms. Shakti, Devi, Kali, Green Tara, Yemaya, Gaia, Sophia, Mariam, Shekhinah, Oshun. She was here before civilization. There's been names for her before you had a name, before there was names of anything. It is, and I just want you to really feel and understand. Have you heard those names? Have you heard some of those names? They come from every culture, Hindi, South America, Muslim, Christian, and we honor all of these truths here at Unity. That's the beautiful thing. We honor the truth that's within everything. So this divine feminine goes thousands and thousands of years back. You can see it in and I just love it every time I come across another expression. So I talk about often, and I think it was John, he's not here, but I say as above, so below, because I see it all the time. And he was like, what is that? What does that mean? And Reverend David knows I'm into the Hermetic tradition. So there's these principles, this ancient, the Kabbalion, and it holds these 7 ancient principles. And one of them is the law of correspondence. As above, so below. And so below, as above. And it is this concept that everything in creation, just like what the Mother Divine has and does, it repeats itself. You see it in everything. And if you use this, if you're aware of it, then you can use it, flow with it, create a life that just continues to blossom and blossom. You see the goody and the goody. You see the goody good, you see the good and the beauty in everything. So the goal here, at least from here, is the one way in to your inner presence is to always keep that awareness of the divine feminine. Yeah, there, which happens in the present moment. So you can do it right now, all that's in each moment, all the time, infinitely, timelessly, without time, because it's always here. This pattern creates itself in every level. A woman gives birth to a child has a child, the child has a child, and here we are. Just like the tree of life. You have a tree, then there's a branch, then there's another branch, a branch, and then even on the leaves, they have veins. This is creation and birth at its best all the time. You can look at the patterns in the carpet, the threads in your clothes, the person that your hair, the pattern in your hair. Everything is of this pattern of creation, which is Mother Earth, which is Shakti, which is the divine feminine, which is amazing if you just give it your focus, your awareness, your attention. In this moment, all is there. There's a seventh principle in the Kabbalion, and these are everywhere, but I just want to introduce some of these. The principle of gender, that everything has masculine and feminine within it. Everything. So this Mother's Day, we honor everyone as well in this tradition, men and women, because we all have, all creativity has the divine feminine aspect to it. So I think that's important to know, especially in this day and age that we're in. So more traditionally, the masculine principle is the directive force. It initiates, projects, seeds, the intention, the vision, the impulse. And the feminine principle is the generative force. It receives, gestates, and births. So we know this intuitively. We know it as we live. And it's not just intuitively. It is true. It's the isness of things. And we can, even though we are unity in its non-duality in one, we see these aspects that can come and be birthed through us so that we can show forth in our best self. So life, with all of its beauties and chaos and joys and sorrows, is not a mistake or a burden. It's a sacred expression of divine joy. So the whole world is the mother at play. The entire world is, if you think about, this is a play. So the chaos, the this or that, we have the ability to co-create. Another one of our principles. We know that we co-create through prayer or through how we live. We co-create through this divine feminine. And so I want to just talk about, how do we know this is true? Or what, how do you activate this manifestation, these miracles? The Course in Miracles says miracles happen all the time. That you not seeing them is really the issue. So we're opening our eyes to seeing the miracles in everything. And so what do we know about women? What are the qualities that we could say are in the divine feminine that we know is true? Anybody? What do we know about mothers? What are some qualities? Nurturing, intuition, caring, loving, tenderness, compassion, love, caring, all of it. I don't think I'm getting any disagreement with those. And the list can go on and on. So those qualities are what we celebrate today with Mother's Day. And those are qualities. The trick is, it's like the fruit of the Spirit. This is all good stuff. There's nothing against those things. So these qualities of motherhood that we, in the divine feminine, we're able to actually use those qualities to create our life. You see how that works? This is like the pinpoint here. I just want to make it clear. Anything you want in life and in this world, through the qualities of the mother that we just love, joy, peace, I'm adding qualities we didn't mention, but you get it. That's where you go, embody from the inside out, and the light shines. And that is what attracts other things in this moment. See how we're bringing it together? In this moment, and that's what attracts outward into you inwardly, and then you're able to manifest more. And then you see the miracles everywhere. So that's the mother's miracles and manifestations. It's not three things. It's the one thing. It happens at the one time through these qualities. I say qualities loosely because we're using words, because we have to use words, but it's not even as much a quality as it is an isness, the isness of things. But it's how we experience them here in this dimension. So this is how we rise to the higher, the fourth dimension, the higher consciousness, to actually not just create the life we want in our own bucket, but to create the life that is meant for us as a community in the world. This is how we change the world. This is how we bring peace to the world. Some of you have heard some of my past talks where I've been a little angry with the world, and it came out. And, you know, I also appreciate there's the growth here, right? So there's a time, there's a season for everything. And then you get to a certain point and you're like, I can go to war, but I'm against war. You know, I'm against violence, theoretically. No, in reality. How do you take the reality of what you know about how grace comes into your life, about how the divine feminine works? How do you take that reality and then inject it into your day-to-day? That's this. That's what we're talking about here. We're using Mother's Day as the entryway in. It gets us to the divine feminine. And now we know all the tricks of the trade, which is simple. Love, kindness from the inside, place the God within and let that light shine. And we know it's true because it's historical, thousands of years. We see it in our own mothers. We see it in nature. It's everywhere. Isn't that the good news? So I want to just make sure, and I'm not going to be here long, but I think that the way that the world is going, like I said, I've been here mad sometimes, so just like the way I said it in one of our book study classes, or someone was like, I've just been disappointed in the world, you know, in some of the things that are going on. And taking what happens in the world and then being able to use our unity principles is how we can transmute and make a change in the world. And I know I have grown from that. And I've grown from that being here with all of you and being tested by the world every time I turn on the news. So that is the ebb and flow. That is the law of polarity. That is the good, what I call the pressure, the burning off. We talk about it in our classes, like the burning bush, where, you know, there's a fire, but it doesn't consume you. Like it doesn't get consumed, because we actually do have this undying power and shine within us to overcome, to transcend, to transmute. So I just, I think I really want to, as I went through this, I thought about Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And even that, like I said, again, this is where I might just flip off and say, as above, so below. Because it was a man and woman who came together in this movement. And you had different aspects and made this whole movement come together that we can even see everywhere, even in our leaders, our families, how this divinity comes together. A creator and the visionary, and making it all come together. So we are also, just like the title, just like how we deal in our families, just like nature, as above, so below. What we give, so we receive. As we press against things, so we can overcome them. And life gets so much greater and more beautiful when you do that. So now is we can just honor our mothers and let each of us be the representation of this beautiful reality with the capital R, that we can come and be that expression. So I really want us to take the feeling that we had from our meditation, from our prayers, this awareness, this love, this giving and kindness, and be that spirit as we walk out the door every day, as we communicate with other people. That is what is going to raise the consciousness of love in this world. So as I begin to close, I just want to say that the miracle isn't something that you're waiting for. The miracle is something that you already are. That is key. Understand you are amazing. You are the miracle. You are the manifestation of God, as God, in God, of God. Isn't that great? And we're just going through the divine feminine. We could come through any door. We'll do it again on Father's Day. We just every opportunity is an opportunity to just be happy. And as we are happy, the next person will just catch that cold. They'll just catch it from us. So I just am so happy to be a part of this community and for us to grow together. And I hope my light can also shine. So today on Mother's Day, let us just celebrate the divine feminine within all of us. No exceptions, men too, all of us. Not just a woman, not just mothers, but the sacred creative force within every human soul. The force that loves, the force that heals. We need healing. The force that forgives, the force that keeps choosing compassion in a world that keeps wanting to have fear. And force is not weak, and force is not secondary. That force is how worlds are born. And so maybe that's the miracle, that everything that humanity has survived, we still have people willing to love. That is the miracle. After everything that goes, just love, love, love. Still willing to pray for our enemies, pray for our friends, pray that you get to a point you don't even have enemies anymore. Because it's the divine play of why. It's all meant to be. So that's the mother's miracle. And every time you choose love over fear, you are the manifestation. Not someday, but now. And I'm about to close, so as you come up, this is the mother's miracle. You are the manifestation. Not someday, not later, but now. So I just implore you, pray for you, ask you to walk gently, love boldly, pray intentionally, create consciously. Everything you are seeking is already seeking you through the divine feminine within you. Happy Mother's Day, and God bless all of you.